Good evening. Sheffield Wednesday on a Wednesday. No better day for it. Go on then. Argyle are back at home for the first time in 18 days, and they are facing a familiar foe at Home Park. In the last 24 months, Argyle and Sheffield Wednesday have played 6 times, but who will come out best on number 7? Good evening, you are watching Argyle TV, where for the first time this season, 2 of the promoted sides from last season meet on their championship campaigns. Argyle grabbed an important point on the road on Saturday, while Wednesday, on their second manager of the season, have just set a league record for the fewest amount of points picked up after 12 matches. Just 3 points to their name so far, and Argyle will be hoping to inflict some more pain on them tonight. If they are to do so, though, they'll have to do what they haven't done since the end of September, and that's win a game of football. But hopefully you'll be able to see them do that right here with us. Match passes will cost you a tenner this evening, and they can be purchased from the website pafc.co.uk. Just head over to the Argyle TV tab to find out more. And joining me on Argyle TV this evening is former Argyle and Premier League defender Mark Edworthy. Mark, how are you this evening?
Good evening, Erin. I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you as always. And I think we've always got to start by saying the pitch is in fantastic condition. I really give credit to the ground staff because it is a magnificent arena here. And looking forward to tonight's game. It's always a good, entertaining game against Sheffield Wednesday. We were here last time when it was a fantastic evening game and we victorious that night. Hopefully that will continue this evening.
Yeah, I mean, tonight's going to be a big opportunity for Argyle to pick up that 4th win of the season and, more importantly, not concede against Sheffield Wednesday.
No, I think the weekend was a fantastic point away from home. West Brom's a really difficult place to go. We know we're good here. I think the level of the championship has revealed itself so many times this season. I think the only game really we haven't sort of give ourselves credit for was Bristol City. I think that was well documented.
Yeah.
But we've been in every game this season, and unfortunately the quality in the championship, we've been punished, but we do create a number of chances here at Home Park.
Yeah, and course, this evening, back at Home Park, Theatre of Greens, the fans are going to be out en masse, and Wednesday, they're a side low on confidence at the moment, so lots to capitalise on.
Yeah, it was a really strange decision towards the end of the season. A good friend of mine, obviously Darren Moore, got them promoted. A fantastic return, really, after winning the playoffs against Peterborough, which was a difficult game. I think 4-0 down in the first leg, and then going through to Wembley and getting promotion. I remember speaking to him just saying that he was going to negotiate and look at the players' budget, and then to find that he's left the club. So they've no wins this season. They've just got a new manager in Danny Rowell, who's just come in. And a really good appointment in Chris Power, a good friend of mine, Chris, with his vast experience of England, and he's been a former manager himself. So they'll come in tonight, and it's going to be a tough game. Mm-hmm. So a new start for them. They were beat the weekend against Watford, and they want to hopefully put things right tonight against Argyle. Yeah,
and of course, Argyle, very fortunately this evening, not coming into the game off the back of a loss because, as mentioned previously, we got that draw away on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a fantastic result. The thing is, Erin, you look down the list now and there's no easy game. Yeah. There's a lot of former Premier League teams in this championship. We deserve to be there, rightly so, from last season's campaign. And we're adjusting well. Unfortunately, we're just getting punished by quality. We've been in every game, as I said, apart from the Bristol City game. And it was a fantastic away point against West Brom because they're a top team.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Well, of course, Argyle and Sheffield Wednesday this evening can't go ahead unless we know who the players are. So as Argyle have won their last 4 matches here at Home Park against tonight's opponents, this is the team that has been put up for you. Couple of changes that not necessarily changes from Saturday, but one name we've got to mention up there, Michael Cooper, is back, fighting fit, ready for his first home game. And a couple more changes. We've got Edwards in there, and Bundu is starting as well, Mark.
Yeah, Bundu, I think, firstly we've got to start with Michael Cooper. I think a fantastic return. I always thought a cruciate ligament was at least a year, and to think he did it February of this year against Sheffield Wednesday, it looked a very innocuous challenge. And he was in tremendous form at the time. But I think what we've got to do by saying is give Conor Hadders an amount of credit, because he's been magnificent this season as well. He's stepped in for Cooper and did a great job. So it's competition for places, and what that will do for Mike, it will help him produce his best. And I think the most important thing about it is the weekend. He looked like he'd never been away. To think that was his first game back. I remember being on the away games against Bristol Rovers and West Brom, and just shows the presence of Cooper in goal. He's a magnificent goalkeeper. As we said, competition for places to get that #1 spot. And he may be not the biggest goalkeeper in the world, like Conor Hazard we talked about, he's 6'7", but Coops, what he does, his agility is magnificent. He's a shot stopper. And I did have a question with the chairman. I said, he saves us 12 points a season. He thought it was between 6 and 9, but I think it's 12.
And of course, you talk about the fighting for the competition of places. You can see that in the lineup this evening. Ryan Hardy not starting.
Yeah, that's for Hardy not to start at home. We know his pace and power in behind, but Bundy's first start this evening, he's come on and he's impacted the games. He's big, he's strong. He's probably more of a target man, but he can get in behind. He has got pace. So he gives Shuey that different dimension. But Hardy he's unlucky to be left out, because I think he's had a good start this season as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other names as well, Lewis Gibson, that's going to be a big boost.
Yeah, huge boost. I think him and Dan Scarr really formed that partnership in the early stages. Unfortunately, he missed out with a bit of injury. And now it'd be great to see him back, because I think he is strong there. That they got a good relationship, those two. And good to see him back in the Argyle shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just run through all of the team then for you very quickly. Michael Cooper, Barley Mumba, Jordan Houghton, Dan Scarr, Joe Edwards, Morgan Whittaker, Mustafa Bundu, Lewis Gibson, Finn Azaz, Adam Randall and Kane Kesler-Hayden. And on our bench, Macaulay Gillespie, Julio Plegazuelo, Matt Butcher, Ryan Hardy, Mikel Miller, Lewis Warrington, Conor Hazard, Ben Wayne and Luke Cundall. Coming off the back of Saturday's performance then, Mark, do you think Argyle need to be a bit more ruthless with the chances that they get?
I think they have to, Erin. We've shown that at home this season. The Swansea game, unfortunately, we lost 3-1 and we were so much in that game. And when the opportunity presented itself, we could have gone 2-0 up at half-time, but we didn't. We allowed them back in the game. And when they scored just before half-time, it gives the opposition that huge lift. And unfortunately, they managed us well in the second half. So I think when the chances do present themselves tonight, which they will do, we've got to make sure we take them. I think that's the only missing key. I know the game's obviously decided in both box, defensively and attacking-wise. Outside the box, we play some great football. Unfortunately, we're getting punished at either end from not taking our chances, then conceding goals. So I think Shuey's learning in this league. and I think that showed the weekend. We played 4-5-1 away from home, so expect a little bit of a different formation tonight, more attacking for sure.
Yeah, I think, you know, of all the games that Argyle have coming up, perhaps tonight is one that they can really use to showcase what they've got.
I think they've got to, and they've got to respect the opposition. Just because they sit bottom with no wins, you know, they've got a new manager that's going to lift the dressing room. Chris Powell's coming, as we said, vast experience, so expect a tough game. But I think here at home with the crowd, as we said, that they are like the 12th man here. They'll really get behind the players tonight and hopefully push us on to a victory.
Yeah, so important. Speaking of the 12th man, some would say it's also Pilgrim Pete. I can see him lurking.
Is he here?
On
normally
the far
normally
side
he attacks
of the pitch.
us at this stage.
And this is the problem as well. I mean, it's lovely when we get to do Argyle TV
exactly.
pitch side.
It is.
But he could be anywhere at any time.
I'll rephrase it. Attack was probably a harsh word, but he just comes up and gives us a cuddle. That's better.
Yes.
But yeah, we are live, as you can see. Yeah, I think last time, Aaron, we both ducked because the lads were performing behind us. They were warming up high intensity, and then a few shots went missing. But I think we're a bit further away from the goal this time, so hopefully we'll be safe.
Yes, always fun. Let's find out then who from the Sheffield Wednesday side could potentially launch a football mine in Mark's way this evening and get their team up on screen for you now. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, Sheffield Wednesday looking for their first win of the season. Danny Roll took over just 2 weeks ago, has chosen this team for you tonight. Mark, why do you think they've struggled so much?
It's a really interesting one. Such a big club as well. Expect a really good support away from home. Former Premier League club, as we know. You know, it's got great history. And is it to do with what the chairman decided to do with Darren Moore? I think you've got a club who just got promotion. They're on a high. And then to change a manager comes in with new ideas, new personnel, and they just haven't got going. And the problem is in this league, if you start slowly, it's really difficult to get going. They've appointed a young manager as well. Danny Rao, as we said, 34 years of age. You know, is he the youngest manager in the Championship at the moment for such a big club as well? So a huge task for him. But what they have done, I think the chairman has done it superbly well at Sheffield Wednesday. He's got this one right, is to get someone like Chris Powell in with his experience. You know, he's been down with the England squad. He's been a manager himself. He's been a really successful England player as well. Great career. So I think that guidance is definitely going to hopefully steady the ship for Sheffield Wednesday, but not tonight.
Yeah, and they've still got Bannon and Windass as well, who are two really big players from them last season.
Yeah, Bannon, I think he really showcases them, doesn't he? I think in League One, he's had a wonderful career, but the Championship now is just a little bit more intense, that level. It'll be interesting to see how long he lasts. So creative, wonderful left foot, and a great servant for Sheffield Wednesday, but the Championship is a different level now. Be interesting to see how he performs tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty is, you know, as you keep progressing throughout the season, there's only so many times, you know, that you can change the team that you've got until something clicks together.
Yeah, you have. You've got to, well, what he'll try to do, he'll probably tinker with a while, but as you said, you've got to get some stability at some stage, and I think now the managers come in, they're narrowly beaten the weekend against Watford. It's a tough game here at home park because they know how Tech and Argyle are, so we've got to prove that to them. You've got to outwork the opposition, and that opportunity will come. Let's hope we can take them tonight.
Let's hope so. Right, before we move any further then, let's just remind ourselves of what happened in the Midlands on Saturday afternoon against West Brom.
Furlong.
Okay, no worries.
Wallace has found another bit of space on the edge of the box, trying to get away onto his left foot and then actually spread it all the way out to Phillips. He's got a lot of space. Can he craft across? Two Argyle players over to him, but he's able to play it to the edge of the box. Shot comes in, it's deflected. Now Whittaker has got Phillips one-on-one down the right. Inside onto his left, tries to shot! Oh, it's off the post! It's going to fall to Mumba, and now a Zaz! Oh, it's over the top. Deflected and wide. Spreads it for Scar. Kesler Hayden with a quick cursory check around him to see if he could bring it in. Whittaker interchanges with Randall, who's onside if he chases and can get there first. Adam Randall, he's got Azaz in the middle. Hardy was arriving, it's going to fall to Kesler Hayden! Good block by the defenders. They can half clear, can they? Miller gets a head down with it. West Brom have pretty well changed their system. I'll give you a few seconds at the start of this half just to assess it, Ryan, and then we'll come to you. But there's a chance here early on. Phillips has found Wallace, who breaks into the box on the left-hand side and crosses. Is it going to fall for Diangana? Not quite. And just about Mikael Miller gets it away. But actually Diangana's picked it up and now come in from the right-hand side. Mumba all the way with him. Excellent defending from Mumba. Chalobah then scythed into Houghton, but he won the ball and the ref was happy. Chance here for Diangana! Cooper at full stretch got something on it. Could be a chance here. Miller got a ricocheted ball and played it to Bundu on the left channel. Cundall makes a run. Whittaker's outside right. Bundle tries to curl one! Whittaker to his left. Bundu to the right. Still Finn Azaz. Holds it up and plays it to Whittaker. Left-hand side of the area. Hasn't got too much in the middle to aim at. Might go himself! Nearly went over Alex Palmer.
Real test now, isn't it?
Butcher straight into the fray is marking Furlong as the ball comes in from the right-hand side. It's a header from West Brom and it's just gone past everybody.
We touched on it a little bit earlier, Mark, but what did you make of the result from that match?
The match the weekend.
Yeah, West Brom.
I think it was a fantastic result. Going away to West Brom, any result away from home is a good one. I think to keep a clean sheet as well, as we said, Cooper's return was magnificent. And did we have an opportunity to take our 3 points? A possibility. And I think if you do that, then you build confidence coming into the home games. They always say if you get someone on the road and win your home games, you're not going to be too far away. And we proved that last season by becoming champions. But this is a different encounter for us. The level in this championship and the teams on display, it's really tough. But I think it was a wonderful result the weekend, and that will give us confidence for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there were certainly chances, in there for Argyle to win it. And again, it's one of those things, we've said it previously, it's just a shame that it just doesn't seem to be falling our way so far this season.
Well, I think over the course of the 46 campaign, 46 league games, you hope that your luck does change. I mean, we created chances, and if it wasn't for the opposition goalkeeper or some fantastic blocks from the opposition defenders, you got to earn your luck, you got to work hard, and I think the players have done that. The tempos of the championship this season, the games have been highly intense, and I think Argyle look fit and strong. But it's probably just been a bit naive, or in certain circumstances they've been caught out, and that's just the level of the quality in this league. They've been punished, and that's been unlucky, because we have been unlucky in a lot of the games. But sure, he won't like that. He won't like me saying that unlucky. You've got to earn your luck.
Yes.
And I think, as we said, the only disappointment I think over the campaign so far was Bristol City. So if you look at the games we played so far, we've been in every game. We look like a championship side. We deserve to be here. And I think that's what we've got to build our confidence on.
And I think it's fair to say Stephen Schumacher has been quite transparent with the results that have come from Argyle. People have said to him, it's unlucky. How does he feel about, where Argyle currently are in the table? And he's kind of been, hold his hands up and said, we wouldn't be where we are if, we hadn't been playing, in such ways. So, I mean, he's very clear that there is progress, that Argyle need to make. He's not kind of chalking it up to luck or being unlucky.
No, he's very honest, and he gives a great account of himself and the team. I think if we had took the chances, we would have been sitting probably near the top of the table. But this league is unbelievable. From a midweek game and then a weekend, you get 2 wins on the bounce, all of a sudden you can go from sort of 20th up to about sort of 6th or 7th. But you've got to earn that right to get them results. And I think if you start getting a few wins, you can start climbing the table, and it makes everybody feel a bit more calmer. It looks healthier for the fans. But we knew it was going to be a tough campaign. We knew it was going to be a tough league. And I think the way we're playing, we've not looked out of place. And I think that's credit to the club, the staff, and obviously Shuey himself. But he'll want to progress and certainly get a few more wins under his belt.
Yeah, and we saw a fantastic result here against Norwich. I mean, and tonight's got all the makings maybe to see something like that happen again. What do you think will make them click to have a repeat of that episode?
Well, I'd love to see a repeat. I think we worked that game together, didn't we? I mean, it was a magnificent game, but what it was on that day, Aaron, if you looked at it, probably Norwich had more stats regarding possession, and they even maybe had more shots on goal. But what Argyle did on that particular occasion, it was an unbelievable end to the first half, wasn't it? With that extra time, we talked about it's not a 90-minute game anymore, it's like 100 plus.
Yeah.
And they were magnificent. And what they did, they took the chances. And 6-2 was a magnificent result. And the atmosphere here that afternoon was magnificent. So that shows the capability of their team. And it's always a good game at Sheffield Wednesday. We'd love to see that repeat again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we said at the top of the show, Sheffield Wednesday coming into this, they're not going to have a lot of confidence, but then they will have an awful lot that they want to prove. Whereas Argyle, they're here, they're home, got a lovely evening crowd in, If they can deliver and, you know, really put Sheffield Wednesday to bed tonight, it's going to be a really fantastic atmosphere, and that's only going to, you know, increase Argyle spirits going into our following games.
Yeah, another new manager. I think they're going to come here tight and be sure, not concede. So hopefully then Argyle have got to take advantage of that. They've got to really start the game with that high tempo as we talked about, which they've done here at Home Park every home game this season. Really got to take the game to Sheffield Wednesday, really force them back into their own half and make it a difficult evening for them. And hopefully when that chance does come, we take it and we get ourselves in front, because then obviously the new manager has got to change his tactics, because you come in with a game plan, but that can change very quickly if you concede.
Yeah, and should it not go Argyle's way, you know, that's going to be quite a big loss to take up against, you know, Sheffield Wednesday and where they are in the table.
Yeah, it certainly will be. As we said, they haven't got a win under their belt this season. They've got the 3 draws and they sit bottom of the table, but you can't look at the table. I think Shuey's just got to concentrate on his own camp, his own players. Training's gone well this week. As we said, we picked up a wonderful report against West Brom with that good draw, so you really got to take advantage of that this evening.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking about him in a bit more detail throughout the show, because another huge bonus from Saturday was getting Michael Cooper back playing again after almost 9 months out. He was back and doing what he does best.
I'd say it was fairly emotional, but for me it was just good to get back in. You know, I wasn't necessarily expecting it, but I was ready. So, yeah, all in all, with the result as well, it was a very, very good Saturday for me.
I'm going to ask the classic question. So take me through sort of the week, I suppose, leading up to it, and then when you found out, how you felt, and as you got closer to the Saturday, what it was like for you.
Yeah, trained on the Monday, trained Tuesday, and after training, the manager pulled me and let me know that I was going to be playing Saturday. And I was just obviously buzzing. Hasn't it been so long? And as the week went on, I didn't really get more nervous, which I thought I would do. I thought as the week would build on, I'd, you know, get a few more butterflies. But come kick-off, obviously you get the whistle and you get the butterflies again. But apart from that, I felt all right leading into the game.
There's been quite a few nice videos during the rounds from people that were in the crowd, and obviously on the broadcast as well of the game, of, you know, them shouting your name and giving them an applause back. That first walk out when you're out for your warm-up, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was, you know, a huge confidence booster knowing that, you know, the fans were backing me after such a long time. Probably not even seeing the team sheet, you know, warming up either. So, yeah, for them to give me that welcome back, it felt really good. And yeah, I just couldn't really ask much more from them, to be honest. Yeah.
In the game, are you ticking things off in your mind about, that's the first touch, that's the first catch, that's the first kick, that's the first save?
I just more go in 15-minute blocks. Yeah, so first, especially away games, first 10, 15, I want to get through it. No silly business really. You know, you don't want to overplay, you know, when their home crowd's up. And just ticking every 15 minutes off, get through to half time, start the second half again, and keep doing what I'm doing throughout the game. It was nice to get a touch early on as well, though, because I didn't want to go too long without touching the ball. But no, yeah, all in all, it was a good away day and a good clean sheet from the team.
Wednesday is against Sheffield Wednesday, which is where, of course, you picked up your injury. So your first home game back will be against the side it happened. I mean, obviously it will bring back some memories from that day, which won't be good ones, but it shows the journey, I suppose, the progression that you've made.
Yeah, exactly. You know, got no bad blood at all about the game. Just quite funny the way it's happened that, you know, get injured and then the second game back, we're playing them at home. So yeah, just putting all that out of my mind. Just, you know, got nothing to do with the actual game of football. So hopefully we can just go out and do what we do.
Have you put any thought as to what you might feel like it being at Home Park, coming back out and playing again?
Yeah, I'd say I visualise quite a lot. I don't, you know, go out of my way to try and do a lot of visualisation, but I find myself imagining it in my head, going through scenarios, and having, you know, played numerous times out on the pitch in front of the fans. You know, I know what to expect. So looking forward to, you know, experiencing it again.
And just finally, on the game itself, having picked up a good point away at West Brom on Saturday, this will be a chance, no doubt, to get another win and kind of keep that momentum going.
Yeah, I think that's key, especially with our home games and teams that are most likely going to be around us come the end of the season. You know, we've got to capitalise on these sort of games off the back of clean sheets and getting good points. So, yeah, we've just got to try and keep the ball rolling.
Well, we could talk about Coops all day, Mark. He is such an important player for Argyle, isn't he? So good to see him back.
He certainly is. As we said, giving Connor Hazard an enormous amount of credit, because I think he's performed superbly well. And we talked about those competition for places for the #1 spot. But I said before, I was behind the goal against Bristol Rovers and Wickham, and the way he commands his box, literally outstanding. His saves in that day earned Argyle the results, and magnificent to see him back. That competition for that #1 spot is whose. As I knew he was going to hijack us.
You know, you speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Pete, sporting your lovely rainbow
Shall I keep
laces
my hood up or
t-shirt
not?
this evening, looking fabulous. Dare I request a score prediction? Oh, here we go. 1, 2.
Show us your t-shirt,
3.
Pete. Here, look.
3-0. Oh, 3-1. Very generous of you, Pete. And there's this rainbow laces t-shirt, which we will be talking more about. Thanks, Pete. Goodbye. Mark, just from a defensive perspective, which you know you have plenty of experience in, knowing that you have a goalkeeper like Michael Cooper behind you as a defensive player, how important is that?
Well, I think a lot of the players have played so many games with him and understand everything he does. He's so reliable. He's very hard to beat. And what it does is a back four, a back five, whatever we decide to play, it just gives you so much confidence, that reassurance that if it does get past us, we've got a top goalkeeper to save us as well. So it gives the team, not just the back four, but the whole team, enormous amount of confidence. And as you said, it's just great to see him back. Yeah,
I mean, no surprise. He slotted nicely back into the team on Saturday, and hopefully all the fans here this evening will be able to see him in even more action tonight. You are watching Argyle TV, and match passes for this evening's game can be found over on our website. That's pafc.co.uk, so make sure you don't miss out. Coming up next, we will be hearing from the manager, so don't go anywhere.
This year, our iconic Rainbow Laces campaign turns 10, and we want you to keep it up for sports inclusion. We have made huge gains since 2013, but there's still a lot to do to make LGBTQ+ people feel welcome in sport. This is a must-win game, and it isn't over yet. How will you pledge your support to keep it up for LGBTQ+ inclusion? Whatever your ability, the Keep It Up Challenge is yours. This summer, we are witnessing some of the best sporting events out there, from our Lionesses at the Women's World Cup, Wimbledon, British Grand Prix, so grab your glittery rainbow laces now. It's time to make sport everyone's game. So let's lace up and keep it up for sports inclusion.
Now, tonight will be the 4th time that Stephen Schumacher has come up against Sheffield Wednesday, and that is more than any other side in his 99 matches in charge. That's a number to remember. We've got a big 100 coming up. Having played them so regularly, he must have a pretty good idea about what to expect.
We've played them loads, and I know they've just changed the manager as well, so they're going to be highly motivated. They were a lot better on Saturday in their performance than what they was previously. They've obviously struggled for results this season. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at Sheffield Wednesday, shall we say, and a bit of disruption. So it seems now that, say, the new manager's going to come in with new ideas, and I'm sure the players will buy into it and take it on board, because I say the performance on Saturday that they played against Watford was good, and I say they know a lot about us as well, so they'll be coming here knowing what to expect.
Yeah, on actually knowing them, I think we joked about it last season, because we probably played them about 20 times, it felt, with cup competitions and everything over the last couple of years. But this looks like a completely different sort of setup. Lots of new players, and of course have gone through a manager and are now on another manager since we would have last played them.
Yeah, there's a few new players, but they've still got, I'd say, the nucleus of their squad that we're still speaking today in the prep about, the same players for Sheffield Wednesday, the ones who we need to be aware of, the ones who we know have got so much quality. And I think that everyone needs to remember how well Sheffield Wednesday done last season. Like, there was 3 teams to top the league there that were close to 100 points, and they played their part in what was an unbelievable League One. So they're going to be strong. As I say, it hasn't quite happened for them so far this season, but the new manager coming in gives everybody a fresh start, and I'm sure they're going to be up for it, and we need to make sure that we match them.
Yeah, what are the keys then for us on Wednesday night?
To do both sides of the game well. I think, as I say, that was what was pleasing from Saturday's performance. I thought we did do both sides better. We defended really well. And again, to try and be as exciting as we possibly can at home park. When we play at a good tempo and pass the ball well and we get into good areas, then we're good to watch. So if we're getting into good areas and we're creating chances, then we have to be clinical. So I think there's areas of the pitch where we can hurt Sheffield Wednesday, and obviously we know that they've got players that can hurt us as well, but not come away too much from what we've been doing. I don't think there's an awful lot wrong. We just need more points than what our performances maybe warrant.
Well, fortunately for you, Mark, everyone started warming up a bit further away now, because you were one hip bump away from joining in.
We were, exactly. I could feel the intensity right beside me, really putting the players through their pre-match routine, really getting them up to speed, the pace and the quality through there. All that preparation is key. The mindset is vitally important for such a big game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down here pitch side, you kind of see the level of intensity that's going into the warm-up ahead of the game. We know, as we've said, Steven Schumacher, 4 times he's come up against Sheffield Wednesday. Do you think, we're going to see a similar sort of game tonight to the ones played between the two last season?
I think so. I think there's going to be goals for sure, because I think they're going to come here and try to come here for a point and try to contain Argyle. But if we score early or they concede, I think then the game plan changes. It becomes very open, which will suit Argyle. Certain managers have good relationships against other teams, and Shuey certainly does that. That encounter we've seen here and that midweek game was a magnificent result. Darren Moore was in charge at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember that the roof came off. It was a late winner here at home park, and that's the sort of atmosphere that got us promotion last season. And I think we need that again tonight. We talk about this crowd. They've been a magnificent support. It's a sellout as always, and they're going to be a huge. They're going to have a huge part of what happens this season.
Yeah, we mentioned Steven Schumacher's transparency before. He always seems to, to have an answer, Shuey. When he comes up against a problem, he will go out of his way, do very, very best to find a solution for it.
Well, I think his success was last season as well, and this season. Unfortunately, we haven't maybe got the points returned so far, but his decision-making regarding the subs, the subs always need to contribute, and certainly they did last season. That's why we ended up being champions. I think when you do come on, you've got to have an impact in the game and change the game, and he's done that so many times. He's got that right on so many occasions. Yeah. And if he continues doing that, that's why he's going to be such a successful manager. And it's glad to have him here, of course, and I think keeping him here on a long-term contract is the basis of that. He makes decisions. He doesn't sit back and allow things to happen. We've seen that by the change of personnel and change of teams. He's not afraid to make changes.
No, very, very true. And you mentioned the subs match. Always seems to have a strong list of substitutions, Steven Schumacher. Tonight, just one example of that. No, Ryan Hardy isn't starting, but we've got him on the bench, and he's the kind of player that can make a difference if needed later on in the game.
Yeah, if you're leaving people like Ryan Hardy out, it just goes to show. I think we've got to give credit to great credit to the chairman and his backers, the money men who put money into this great club, because we've got a quality squad now and we're building for the future. We talked about the academy and what's going on behind the scenes. The club's in a great place, but ideally we need to keep this championship status, and I think the way things are going, we're learning, Shuey's learning, and we've got to top that with a good result tonight. Yeah,
he'll certainly be very keen to capture a win here tonight in front of the home crowd, won't he?
I think what it is, as we said, we've got a fantastic result on the weekend. Going to West Brom, as we said, is a big club, another former Premier League opposition we played against and got points off, and then to come back home park, and this is where it happens. This is where we perform so well. This is where the fans expect to be entertained, and we've done it on so many occasions this season and last season, and long may it continue tonight.
Yeah, Steven Schumacher, it doesn't strike me as the kind of guy to panic per se, but do you think the kind of middling run of scores that Argyle have had recently will be giving him pause for thought?
I don't think he panics. Frustrated for sure. I've seen him get, animated on the sideline because he cares, and rightly so. And sometimes he hasn't got the answers when he stands in the technical area. Everything that goes out on the training ground or what he preps on the training ground, hopefully you can take from the training ground onto the arena, and that's what it is tonight. All that prep tonight against Sheffield Wednesday has to take place this evening. You're hoping you've got those details correct.
Yeah, tonight as well, you know, it is down to the details. It's almost poetic in a way when you think Michael Cooper back in the Championship, playing his first home game here at Home Park against the side that we saw him, you know, get injured from.
It's incredible, really, because as we said, it looked so innocuous, didn't it, against Sheffield Wednesday away from home. He just seemed to go and collect the ball and come down, and obviously landed awkwardly. But what you see now, Aaron, as well, I was interested to see this before, what the scientists think, what the experts think. The ACL injury now is, in the men and the women's game, it's so common now, and it's an innocuous challenge. Players are having serious knee injuries, and that certainly happened to Michael Cooper. It didn't look like it was a bad challenge. He seemed to come down and obviously fell awkwardly or landed awkwardly, and he finds himself out for 8 to 9 months. But great to see him back in an Argyle shirt. He played the weekend, collected a clean sheet. That will give him an enormous amount of confidence. And the great thing about it is, for me, the important thing about it is, and his hard work, is that he never looked like he'd been away.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think tonight's game in particular just feels like a culmination of so many different aspects coming together, which if he can get another clean sheet like we saw on Saturday, which, you know, coming back after almost 9 months out, yes, we didn't win the game, but, you know, no goals conceded for Michael Cooper.
I think that will give him massive confidence, and the team massive confidence. But I think that, you know, that will give him huge credit for tonight. You'll look forward playing in front of his home crowd tonight. I'm sure he'll get a fantastic reception, and it'd be great if he can keep another clean sheet tonight. Yeah,
we would definitely like to see that happen. Well, as you saw earlier, styled by none other than Pilgrim Pete, tonight is the club's dedicated Rainbow Laces fixture. Now, Rainbow Laces is a campaign that's run by Stonewall, and it's celebrating its 10th year of creating and striving for inclusivity in sport for the LGBTQ+ community. And we at Argyle are very proud to support the campaign, and Argyle Pride, a volunteer group in the city, are working very closely with the club to create as an inclusive environment as possible. Earlier this year, Adam Randall and Mike Cooper went along to Argyle Pride in one of their training sessions to talk with one of their members, Chris Corbett.
My name's Mike Cooper. My pronouns are he, him, they, them, and I'm a goalkeeper for Plymouth Argyle.
My name's Adam Randall. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a midfielder for Plymouth Argyle Football Club.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for anyone that might be scared going to a football game, to have a community or a group of people that can relate to them, can help them, you know, break down a bit of fear that they might have going to a football match, for example, would be great for that individual. And yeah, like you can even go to the game as a group, for example, to make them feel even more comfortable. So I think it's massive for different clubs to have groups to be more inclusive with supporters.
Absolutely, because I think every group that isn't widely known or recognised needs a way of being put out there to people such as myself, who otherwise wouldn't know as much about sort of what's going on and what can be done. It's tough because I think it's the outlook of sort of most people with sort of football, because it's like I think it's viewed as like a manly sport, and for example, being gay or bi or whatever might be seen as less than that by some people, which I think could prevent someone, because they might not want to seem weak to other people, even though it's not weak obviously, but some people may think that.
There's a lot to say, isn't there? It's quite complicated. I mean, obviously there's a lot of homophobia in and around football with online abuse that you see, whether it be sexist, racial, homophobic, anything. There's all sorts of online abuse in and around sports in general. So that, you know, that's enough to put anyone off, I guess. So yeah, no, it was great bravery from Josh to come out. And hopefully, if there is anyone still not openly gay, and it might give them a bit of confidence to do so in the future.
I think that the help you get is, or should be, more than what you probably expect. I'd like to think that, especially for our club, I think we're quite diverse and we're more, we're accepting of anyone. So yeah, I'd like to think that people like stewards would certainly help you with any problems, and I'd like to think that nobody would feel uncomfortable coming and watching a game.
I'd just say, don't be hesitant at all. Anyone's more than welcome. Doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, your background, anything. Home Park's a place that you can come on a Saturday, and for anyone, regular life just sort of disappears, I guess, for 3-4 hours. So if anyone's ever hesitant to come to the game, I'd just say don't be. You've got a lot of people there to support you. Really come across it was the Accrington game, and obviously there was like some comments coming from the crowd, to which obviously you instantly just think, well, you shouldn't really shouldn't be allowed to get away with saying that sort of stuff. You know, you never know who's come to watch the game. You never know if one of the players, you know, might have not come out yet, or you know, any sort of circumstance that could have affected someone. So yeah, straight away I just thought, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, let alone a football stadium, you shouldn't be saying any of that stuff anywhere. So yeah.
I feel like training sessions such as the one that we're here now doing are quite important to get people along and just get them involved in football in general, and just to meet people and just to be comfortable within themselves and with others. It's obviously not just people who are part of the LGBTQ+ community that have to come along, it can be anyone. Just to sort of, so that they get comfortable, so you know what you're talking about, you know what's sort of right and wrong to say, you can learn. Definitely think it's something you can learn.
Thank you very much to Argyle Pride for letting us use that film tonight. Right, we are closing in on kickoff here on Argyle TV tonight. So coming up next, we'll be focusing on Sheffield Wednesday.
Let's get it poppin', I'm looking away. Go tell mother I'm cooking the game. Flow like water bubbling up where you want me to make. Taking you back in the day, feeling immaculate, mate. Action packed back to back while you yapping away. I got a knack to react, but I'm packing a grace. Up to the max with a fact, let me grab the space. I had a map the place, you got a laughing face. Long and strong, looking like a stack full of hate. It goes on and on, way to the back of the bank. This phenomenon's on, I don't even have to say. I'm where I belong, this not back in the, you know. I go where I wanna, a fair warning for anybody with hair on them. You can't stop me, you can't stop me.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday have the unfortunate record of being the side with the worst start to a new season in Championship history. Not a great one. So far, they've picked up just 3 points from their opening 12 matches, and the early season form led to their manager getting sacked, and new man Danny Roll took over just ahead of their trip to Watford on Saturday.
today I saw a lot of good things. We trained hard this week, and you see also the intensity on the pitch. We want to press high, we press high. We won a lot of second balls. We create a lot of good opportunities to scoring. Some good set places. We had also some good shots. But yeah, at the end it's a little bit disappointed. But I spoke to the guys. It's no time for disappointment. We have to make the next step and the next step, and we will go again on Wednesday by the next match.
And do you take heart from that kind of performance, because it was a much better performance than this season?
I saw a lot of good things about our style of football, but we know it's not about to come here and to can improve everything, but the direction was there. There was a direction what the player want. The player did everything on the pitch, and I think this is the most important thing, to try all the best to bring the heart on the pitch, and yeah, that's what I demand from them, and I saw this, and this is the reason why I have to accept the result. It's not a good one. We want to take a point minimum, but now it's okay, we go forward.
And the fans gave everybody a kind of rousing reception at the end. They liked what they saw today.
Yeah, our fans were massive again, and it's good to have them on our back. And I think we create also energy on the pitch, and we got also energy from our fans. And yeah, I think it's important that we are all together in one direction, and I feel that it was a good first step for us.
Danny Roll, fresh into his management position at Sheffield Wednesday. He's got a pretty tough job on his hands, Mark.
Certainly has. It's a huge club, isn't it? Great support. As we said, another former Premier League opposition we're playing against, and it's understandable. You know, he's trying to head scratching almost really how they have lingered out the top leagues for so long. Another very young manager come in, Danny Rowe, only 34 years of age. The Germans come in, but what he has done, he has got some great support in Chris Powell. He's been down with the England setup, you know, vast experience, great player himself, and obviously he's been a former manager, so I think that will help stable them, get some stability back to the football club, which they so need.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. As the time knocks past 7:30, let's get a reminder of tonight's teams then, starting as always with Argyle. Starting for us this evening, Michael Cooper, Barley Mumba, Jordan Houghton, Dan Scarr, Joe Edwards, Morgan Whitaker, Mustafa Bundu, Lewis Gibson, Finn Azaz, Adam Randall and Kane Kesler-Hayden. And on the bench, Connor Hazard, Macaulay Gillespie, Julio Plegathuelo, Matt Butcher, Ryan Hardy, Mikael Miller, Lewis Warrington, Ben Wayne and Luke Cundall. It's a strong side and it's a strong benchmark.
It is. It's a very good attacking side. As we said, Ryan Hardy unfortunately drops to the bench, but I'm sure he'll have a huge impact when he comes on. Bundy's first start, I think when he came on, he's looked like he deserves a start on the team. He's got a bit of a different dimension to Hardy. He'll probably link a little bit better regarding his strength and power, but he has got that ability to run in behind as well, so be interesting to see how he starts for his first start tonight.
Absolutely. And our opposition tonight, of course, Sheffield Wednesday. Let's see how they're shaping up ahead of kick-off. For them, we have Cameron Dawson, Bambo Diaby, Dominic Iorfa, George Byers, Lee Gregory, Barry Bannon, Josh Windass, Paul Valentin, John Buckley, Akin Famewo, Anthony Musaba, and on their bench, Devis Vasquez, Liam Palmer, Will Volks, Malik Wilkes, Deshaun Bernard, Jeff Hendrick, Michael Smith, Reece James, and JD Gassama. I mean, Bannon and Windass, of course, you know, we know those names well, don't we, Mark?
We've done that so well, considering we've just entered a nightclub.
We have, yeah.
You know, incredible, really, you know, if you hear us well enough. But, yeah, I think, you know, the familiar name, as you said, Barry Bannon, we know he's been a great servant to Sheffield Wednesday, dictates the midfield. But I think tonight, with the Championship, that extra bit of pace we've got in midfield and that quality, we can't allow him to dictate the midfield. He's got a wonderful left foot. He orchestrates everything for them. So if we stop him playing, I think that really puts a damper on Sheffield Wednesday this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. This is quite exciting. We haven't had the nightclub experience pitchside before. A reminder, the match is soon to start and you can watch this evening's game over on pafc.co.uk with a match pass. All the details are over there. Let's get the final words from the Argyle camp then, as the atmosphere pumps up here at Home Park. Here is Kevin Atscaville with Charlie Price.
A couple of changes. Talk us through them and why they've been made.
Yeah, Joe comes in from Macau. Macau's had 90 minutes on Saturday and was a real test for him, so we don't want to take any risks with him. He's all good to go, but Joe comes back in to give us a bit of freshness in that area. Mustafa starts instead of Ryan, and similar really. Mustafa's been training really well, deserves his chance, and Ryan will have a little bit of a breather to start with anyway.
Obviously the game is a side we know very well over the last couple of seasons. We've played them so many times, cups and in the league, but this is in a new division. They've got a new manager. What's the sort of feeling headed into this one?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Like you said, we've been used to playing them the last couple of years. We've had some great nights here and up at Hillsborough, so hopefully we have another good night. New manager, a couple of games in, so we don't quite know what to expect, but they had a really good performance on Saturday. Didn't get the result they wanted, but we're expecting a really tough game. They've got some really good players. I mean, they went out with 96 points, I believe, last year, so listen, you don't lose that quality, so we know we're going to have to be at our best to get anything tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of kind of playing well, we did similarly on the weekend as well. Really good performance up against West Brom, so bit of momentum potentially heading into a home game under the lights.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we were pleased with the performance. I thought first half we played some great football, just didn't get the goal that we probably warranted. In second half we saw a different side to the game where we had to stick in and dig in and make some tackles, get some blocks and keep our defensive shape, which we did really well as well. So a point in the Championship is always well earned, so we were delighted with that one, and hopefully we can carry on with that tonight.
And just a quick one on Moose, makes his first start here at Home Park as well. He must be buzzing for that, I imagine.
Yeah, no, he's excited, I think. Like I said, he's been training well. We've got a squad full of players that the gaffer chooses from, so we look forward to him making his debut at Home Park.
Well, as it's just starting to rain, I think we'll get one quick final word from you, Mark. How do Argyle win this?
I think they've just got to take Saturday's performance and build on that confidence. We know how good they are at home. We've got a great record against Sheffield Wednesday. Really take the game to Sheffield Wednesday. They're unbeaten haven't got a result this season for a reason. They haven't got a win. Let's make sure that doesn't happen tonight. I think we've got to start the game well, really show that intensity, which we have done here at Home Park. And as you said, as we see the flag going over the side of us now, that support from the crowd can hopefully lift the team and really give us the 3 points tonight.
Fantastic, thank you, Mark. Now, there were a host of games happening around the league yesterday, so only 5 other matches happening tonight. One's to keep an eye on. Ipswich looking to keep tabs on the leaders, Leicester. Leicester with a trip to Bristol City. Rotherham take on Coventry, and Leeds go to Stoke. We'll be bringing you updates on those throughout the course of the evening. Thank you very much, Mark, for being with me on the pre-match show this evening. That's it from the build-up here. Kickoff is minutes away. We've got just enough time to remind you that you still can buy a match pass for the game this evening over on the website pafc.co.uk. Charlie Price and former Argyle forward Ian Stonebridge are doing all the commentary for you this evening, and it will be very good to hear their dulcet tones. Right, that's it now. The flags are waving, everyone's ready. Can Argyle keep up their impressive record at home against Sheffield Wednesday? Let's find out, because that is exactly what's coming up next.
In this attack, Azaz, couple of step overs, drags it onto his left foot,